In the heart of Middle-earth, where the lonely mountain stood as a beacon of dwarven might, a shadow loomed, a great dragon, Smaug, whose fiery wrath would shatter a kingdom and set in motion events that would shape the fate of the world. This is the tale of Erebor's rise and fall, the courage of dwarves, the wisdom of wizards, and a battle that turned the tide against darkness. Long before the War of the Ring, the dwarven kingdom of Erebor thrived beneath the lonely mountain, overlooking the human settlement of Dale. Founded by King Thorin I in 1999, after the fall of Khazad-dûm, Moria, to a Balrog, Erebor became a stronghold of wealth and power. The dwarves unearthed vast mineral deposits, including the Arkenstone, a jewel of unparalleled beauty that became the emblem of their kingdom. For centuries, Erebor prospered, its riches drawing both admiration and envy. By TA 2590, after conflict with dragons in the Grey Mountains, Thror, great-grandson of Thorin I, returned to re-establish Erebor as the seat of the king under the mountain, cementing its status as a dwarven jewel. In TA 2770, catastrophe struck. Smaug, the last great dragon of Middle-earth, descended upon Erebor in a blaze of fire and destruction. The impregnable defenses of Dale were reduced to ash, and the dwarves were driven from their home. King Thror, his son Thrain II, and grandson Thorin II escaped through a secret passage, joining thousands of survivors. Smaug claimed Erebor's great vault, filled with gold and the Arkenstone, as his lair. The displaced dwarves scattered, some joining kin in the Iron Hills, while others, led by Thror, wandered in exile to Dunland. Consumed by despair, Thror's obsession with the Arkenstone grew, a portent of the greed that would haunt his line. The tragedy deepened when Thror, bearing a dwarven ring of power, ventured to reclaim Moria. He was slain by the orc chieftain Azog, who sent a grim message to Thrain II. Moria was no longer a dwarven home. Enraged, Thrain rallied warriors from all dwarven holds, igniting the war of dwarves and orcs, TA 2790 to 2793. The conflict culminated in the Battle of Azanulbizir in TA 2799, where the dwarves, led by Thrain and Thorin, clashed with Azog's forces. Thorin earned the name Oakenshield by wielding an oak branch as a shield. The tide turned when Dane Ironfoot, Lord of the Iron Hills, arrived, slaying Azog in single combat. Though victorious, the dwarves suffered catastrophic losses, and Moria remained beyond their grasp. Thrain, wounded and limping, led his people to the Blue Mountains to rebuild. Unbeknownst to the Free Peoples, Sauron had returned, masquerading as the Necromancer in Dol Guldur. In TA 2841, Thrain, restless and driven by his ring, was captured and tortured by Sauron's forces, who seized his ring of power. The Vala, sensing the growing darkness, sent 5 Mayor to Middle-earth as wizards. Gandalf the Grey, tasked by the White Council, investigated Dol Guldur and encountered the broken Thrain, who entrusted him with a map and key to Erebor's secret passages. Gandalf confirmed the Necromancer's true identity as Sauron, but faced resistance from Saruman, who urged caution. Determined to thwart Sauron's plans, Gandalf sought out Thorin Oakenshield, now a mercenary leader, and vowed to help him reclaim Erebor. In Bree, Gandalf met Thorin and devised a plan to retake the Lonely Mountain. Thorin assembled a company of 12 dwarves: Fili, Kili, Dwalin, Balin, Oin, Gloin, Dori, Nori, Ori, Bifur, Bofur, and Bombur, and at Gandalf's urging, hired Bilbo Baggins, a reluctant hobbit, as their burglar. The company faced numerous perils: trolls, orcs, wargs, and giant spiders. In the Misty Mountains, Bilbo stumbled upon a mysterious ring, later revealed to be the One Ring, and escaped Gollum after a riddle contest. With aid from Elrond in Rivendell, who deciphered the map's runes, and the Eagles of Manwë, the company reached Mirkwood. There, Bilbo's cunning and the ring's power freed the dwarves from Thranduil's prisons, allowing them to reach Lake Town and, finally, Erebor's secret door on Durance Day. Bilbo infiltrated Erebor, discovering Smaug's weak spot but inadvertently provoking the dragon's wrath. Smaug attacked Lake Town, only to be felled by Bard the Bowman, who struck the dragon's vulnerable underbelly with a legendary black arrow. The dwarves reclaimed Erebor, but Thorin's growing obsession with the Arkenstone, which Bilbo secretly held, strained their alliance. As Thranduil and Bard demanded reparations, Thorin refused, summoning Dane Ironfoot for aid. Tensions escalated until Gandalf warned of an approaching horde led by Balg, son of Azog. Dwarves, men, and elves united against the orcs, wargs, and bats in the Battle of the Five Armies. Thorin's heroic charge rallied the allies, but he fell battling Balg's bodyguards. Beorn, in bare form, and the Eagles turned the tide, with Beorn slaying Balg. The orcs were routed, their power in the north shattered. The victory came at a great cost. Thorin, Fili, and Kili perished, alongside many others. Before his death, Thorin reconciled with Bilbo, lamenting the greed that had clouded his heart. Dane Ironfoot became king under the mountain, and Bard restored Dale, forging a new alliance. The defeat of Smaug and the orcs denied Sauron key allies, setting the stage for the War of the Ring. Gandalf's foresight ensured the North remained a bastion of resistance, paving the way for the events of the Lord of the Rings.